Violence inside ourselves is, it says a lot. It says a lot about me. It says a lot about myself. It says a lot about the world. It says a lot, and you have to kind of find your way through it. Sometimes when the intensity is, when you've disrespected yourself so much, and you've repressed that energy, the energy that wants to respond to your self-deprecation, you experience it as a form of fever, anger, violence, because you've tolerated things that are unacceptable. When you don't have a sense of clarity, that just, sometimes it erupts at the wrong people, at the wrong time, in the wrong circumstances. People will judge. It's for you to understand yourself. Fuck people. It's for you to understand yourself and what's happening to you. Then you got to learn how to navigate more appropriately through those energies. But that energy is there to show you something's wrong in who you are, how you're living, how you're interacting with the world. Something is out of alignment and there's a lack of integrity. That's what it has always been for me, that energy. At first, when it came out, it's just like very feverish, like a child. You're just upset, but you don't know why you're upset. Like a kid. The child doesn't understand this is a toy. The toy belongs to that person. That person, you took the toy. Now the person's taking it. It doesn't understand context because its brain is limited to a few variables. So it responds with anger because the child feels cheated. Somebody wronged the child. And responds with anger, doesn't even know what he's angry about, really. It was the toy, I don't know anymore. It's just angry. It's taken over. This is very immature. I don't want to talk about emotional intelligence, but in a way it's a form of immaturity. You don't understand what's happening to you. When you start having interest in discovering who you are and how the energies function inside of you, you start to understand, I'm upset. Yeah, I'm upset. You know why? Because I tolerated this, and that. And it obliges you to re-examine those dynamics and those relationships. Because it's very easy to say, well, if I don't like this, I could just leave. Yeah, but that's not how life really works. At the surface, you could pretend it's like that. But at a deeper level and at a psychic level, it's not at all like that. Every relationship is based on a contract, energetic contract, sometimes a written contract, and those contracts cannot just be broken because you choose that they're broken. In order for a contract to be absolved, each party needs to receive what they have signed up for. But you don't even know that there's a contract. But you feel that something's wrong in the contract, or you feel that you're being cheated in the contract, or you feel that you've outgrown the contract, but you're stuck. So already, that energy, if you feel that there's a rush in you, and like, I feel something's out of balance, and if you have a little bit of maturity and a little bit of intelligence, and if perhaps you're guided, you'll start to see, well, what's creating that pressure? This, that. And then you have no choice. Well, you have a choice. You could just you could just not do that. But you can also now start to understand dynamics. Okay, well, why am I in such a position? Well, there's a contract. And that was the original exchange. We agreed to enter into contract based on this kind of exchange. I've outgrown this and I no longer need apples. But here I am still providing oranges. Yet I don't receive anything and I'm fucking annoyed. But I didn't know 5 minutes I was annoyed because I was pretending that we had a harmonious relationship. It was pleasant. And now I'm like, no, fuck you. I don't want your apples, or your apples that you're giving me are shit. I don't want those apples anymore. Technically, I've grown my own apples and I'm still giving you oranges and you haven't updated the contract and I'm sick of this and I want something else. So is your so-called anger evil? No, zero. It's a response from your system that is intelligent, trying to point towards something. Now, if you don't understand what it's pointing at, that's on you. That's why you have a brain. If you don't understand what's happening to you, that's on you. It's not the fault of the so-called anger. And now, if now that energy rushes and instead of finding a solution, you decide to murder the person, well, that's improper behavior. Because why? You entered the contract. If the contract doesn't work, you should renegotiate the contract or find a way to get out of the contract. Is it really worth killing a person? Clearly, it's blown out of proportion. You lost control, or the pressure is too steep, or maybe you got screwed so badly that you just like, I gotta, right? But it's not recommended. But is it the anger's fault? If the anger is an intelligent response due to something that's out of balance, So if it's so out of balance, well, there you may do things that are very out of balance.